Hey, this is Rhiannon. You're giving you a Skillshare presentation on how to pattern text in Photoshop. So to get started, you'll want to pick a photo, an image that has some hand lettering or even just any kind of lettering that you would want to use on it. And so here I have this orange one drawn with an orange marker. Really simple, just some interesting text. So you want to go ahead and duplicate your initial background layer like I did here on the picture. So that you have an additional layer, and then hide it so that you can't see that original one. Again, we're being non-destructive with this as we've learned so far. Next, what you'll want to do is change your image to black and white. So if you're not already using a black and white photo, change it to black and white by going to your image and then adjustments and then choosing black and white. We'll change it like that. And that's easy enough. You just click OK. You can adjust it a little bit there if you want to, but you don't have to. All right, next you're going to want to go to do the same thing with the image, but only where this time we're going to adjust the levels of it. So again, that's image, adjustment, and then levels. And then you're going to want to make, like it says, the black's more black and the white's more white, like we've always done with levels throughout our classes that we've gone through so far here. And so just to really make it a higher contrast, adjust and make the black so much more evident on there than the gray that you see on the screen. So here it is with that level adjusted on there. So from this point, what we're going to want to do is click on the layer itself and then cut it. So I know that seems kind of weird. You're like, oh no, I'm going to lose it, but it'll be fine. Go ahead and select Command X and cut it so that then the next screen, it does look blank, but this is where you're going to go to the alpha channel. So this is just one way to do this, but go to the alpha channel and create a new channel with it, and then you will then paste that image into the alpha channel with Command V, as you've seen here on the screen. Once you have that done, we want to invert it, and that way what we're going to do is be able to create a mask with it later, and so we're going to invert it so that we have the black and white reversed. And then the next step is to use a black paintbrush to paint over anything that you don't want to be patterned. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of the markers that's on there. Another thing that you can do if you keep looking is how to then put the pattern onto the markers, which is kind of cool, but I'm not going to worry about that for this lesson. But yeah, so use your black paintbrush to kind of paint over anything that you don't want, and if there's any white specks or something that show up around your text that you don't want to have in a pattern, then go ahead and paint over those as well. Then once that's done, you'll want to command click in that panel or the alpha panel and choose to expand that selection. So by command clicking, you're selecting all of the letters, and you can kind of see the outline by the dashed line around it all. But so what you'll want to do is you can choose to then expand the selection, just kind of smooth it out a little bit if you want to do that. And I just did it by 1 extra pixel. You can do 1 or 2. We'll just smooth out those letters in that selection just a little bit more. Finally, you're going to want to go then to create a layer mask in your layers panel. So go away from your channels panel and go back to the layers. And with that, the one that we're working in, you'll want to select it and create a new layer mask. And you should be able to see the outline. It's hard to see on my printout here, but when you do it on your own computer, you'll be able to see it fine, to see the outline. Then, as simple as going to your bucket tool and finding a paint pattern that you want to use on there, and that could be any of them that you might have already uploaded, or a picture that you've found, or another one that you've created that's a different pattern or something you can make. Anything that you want to use, you can then put on there. This was just a preloaded pattern that was already in Photoshop, so I went ahead and used it. And you can see here, this is how you create a patterned text. So I thought it was pretty neat. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a trendy thing going on with Instagram, and just thought it'd be fun to kind of learn how to do. So hope you enjoy.